Since 1994, Karuna Center for Peacebuilding has worked in partnership with communities that have experienced violent conflict to foster social healing and develop their capacity to contribute to lasting peace. We have strengthened local organizations and networks for violence prevention in more than 30 countries, from Sudan to the United States, from Israel and Palestine to Myanmar. From the beginning, our approach has integrated dialogue processes into larger strategies to rebuild trust across divides and address underlying causes of conflict. People who once saw each other as enemies become able to cooperate toward a shared goal of a secure future, free of the threat of violence, in which human dignity and rights are respected. Because the wounds of war persist for generations, our work has the same long-term outlook. When Karuna Center brought together educators across ethnic divides in the aftermath of the Bosnian War, one of the legacies of that project was a new peacebuilding organization founded by a participant that has continued to work as our partner in the subsequent decades. When we convened Sri Lankan religious leaders across the deep scars left by the Civil War, they were then able to reach out to more than 5,000 community members in projects that crossed ethnic and religious divides and formed local peace councils that remain active today. In Rwanda, after decades of work to promote reconciliation and rebuilding in the aftermath of the genocide against the Tutsi, we convened our partners in a project that empowered 1,400 young adults who had grown up in the genocide's shadow to lead more than 400 projects to heal and uplift their communities.
Well, I remember one of the first sentences that you said was, either you deal with this and what happened to you, or you will have your children and grandchildren. You will put them in position to deal with these things. And I just felt it's not fair that we would transfer our traumas and our hate and our anger towards on the next generation to come, but it was really up to us to start healing right away.
Through our initiatives over the past 30 years, we have fostered social healing far beyond the personal level into community and societal transformation, creating platforms for people who are impacted by conflict, especially women, youth, and marginalized identity groups, to advocate for just and nonviolent solutions to the problems they face. Now, 3 decades after Karuna Center began, we are proactively working in areas where violence could be likely to escalate. In areas impacted by climate change, insecurity, and dangerous political polarization, we are using our experience to promote cooperation over resource conflicts, lift up the voices of the people affected, and defend the humanity of those who are scapegoated and targeted for violence. By working in close partnership with local organizations, we take the work deeper and farther than many larger international organizations. Over the past 5 years, we have collaborated with Nigerian organizations to create the Protecting Our Communities initiative, which has developed community peacebuilding systems in 18 communities impacted by insecurity and conflicts among farmers and herders. Collaboration with our partners in Nigeria has involved empowering people to lead their own dialogues and early warning, early response networks, incorporating peer-to-peer mental health supports to help heal the trauma of violent conflict, and developing channels of communication for communities to share their insights with traditional leaders, religious leaders, security forces, and government from the local to national level. Through this collaboration in Nigeria, community members have identified and resolved more than 1,000 incidents that could have sparked broader violence. Farmers and herders have come together to advocate jointly at state level and national forums organized by the project, and women in grassroots communities have gained new platforms for their leadership. We are now supporting our community-based partners to be anchors that sustain this work, and we are expanding it into neighboring Nigerian communities, as well as implementing a similar pilot model in climate-impacted areas of Benin. Looking forward, we are increasing our focus on developing local capacity for peace, supporting local peacebuilding organizations and establishing a network to connect them, and strengthening conflict prevention systems that can be used for decades to come. This includes expanding our work within the United States, where we see some of the same warning signs as we have around the world: extreme levels of political polarization and dangerous speech about outgroups such as immigrants. Over the past year, we have begun a pilot approach working with schools in Western Massachusetts to better identify and address warning signs of student engagement in extremism or violence, and to build more resilient, inclusive school communities. Building peace is similar to planting a tree. The best time to do it is 30 years ago, and the next best time to do it is today. Our goal is not only to stop violence now, but to support the people and build the networks that will promote durable peace for generations to come.